Two people can earn the same salary and live in completely different worlds. Not because one is smarter. Not because one works harder. And not because one got lucky. Imagine two neighbors, same age, same profession, same income, both earn $95,000 a year. One receives an unexpected medical bill and barely notices. The other spends 3 sleepless nights trying to figure out how to pay it. The difference isn't their paycheck. It's the number hiding behind the paycheck. A number most people rarely talk about. A number that quietly determines how much stress follows you around every day. And there are 3 specific points on that number line where life starts feeling fundamentally different. Not richer. Different. The first level gives you peace. The second gives you power. And the third gives you something money can't create but can help you reclaim. Time. Let's start with the first one. Most people think wealth begins when you buy expensive things. It doesn't. Wealth begins the moment you stop being afraid of small emergencies. Think about how many decisions people make while carrying financial anxiety in the background. Every purchase. Every bill. Every unexpected phone call. Every strange noise coming from the car. A lot of people are not living their lives. They're managing potential disasters. The first $100,000 of net worth changes that. And interestingly, the reason isn't because $100,000 makes you rich. It doesn't. In many cities, it wouldn't even buy a modest house. But it creates something far more valuable. Margin. For the first time, life stops feeling like a tightrope. Imagine trying to walk across a narrow beam suspended high above the ground. Every step feels dangerous. Every mistake feels expensive. Now imagine the same beam sitting 1 foot off the ground. The beam didn't change. Your confidence did. That's what the first $100,000 does psychologically. It lowers the consequences of ordinary life. A car repair becomes an inconvenience instead of a crisis. A medical bill becomes a problem instead of a catastrophe. A temporary job loss becomes a challenge instead of an emergency. And something strange happens when that pressure disappears. You think better. Researchers have repeatedly found that financial stress consumes mental bandwidth. When your brain is constantly calculating how to survive the next surprise expense, it has less energy available for everything else. Career decisions, relationships, health, parenting, creativity. Financial stress acts like dozens of browser tabs running in the background of your mind. The computer still works. Just slower. The first $100,000 doesn't buy luxury. It closes some of those tabs. And that's why this level matters more than most people realize. Because before money can improve your lifestyle, it improves your state of mind. This is also why the journey to the first $100 feels painfully slow. You're doing almost all the work yourself. Every dollar must be earned, saved, protected, invested. The snowball hasn't become a snowball yet. It's still a pile of snow you're pushing uphill. But once you reach 6 figures, something important changes. For the first time, your money starts helping. And that's where the second level begins. Most people spend their entire lives believing their income comes from one source. Themselves. Their skills. Their labor. Their time. Then one day they look at their investment account and realize something unexpected. Another worker has joined the household. Money. At $500,000 invested, average long-term market returns can generate tens of thousands of dollars annually. Not because you worked overtime. Not because you asked for a raise. Not because you started another side hustle. Simply because your existing assets continued doing what they do. Growing. This is where wealth begins to feel tangible. Not because your life suddenly becomes glamorous. Because it becomes flexible. The biggest change at this stage isn't what you can buy. It's what you can say no to. You can say no to a toxic boss. No to unreasonable demands. No to opportunities that pay well but make you miserable. People often assume financial freedom arrives all at once. It doesn't. It arrives in tiny moments. It's standing in a meeting and realizing you don't need this job as desperately as you once did. It's making decisions based on what you want rather than what you're afraid of. It's knowing that if life punches you in the face tomorrow, you probably won't hit the ground. Most people underestimate how powerful that feeling is. Because money isn't solving problems anymore. It's creating options. And options are a form of freedom. But this stage contains one of the biggest traps in personal finance. The trap that keeps millions of high earners from ever reaching the next level. Lifestyle inflation. A promotion arrives. The apartment gets bigger. The car gets newer. The vacations get more expensive. The spending quietly rises to meet the income. And before long, someone earning $250,000 a year feels almost as financially constrained as they did at $75. Because humans adapt. What once felt luxurious quickly becomes normal. The new car becomes just another car. The dream house becomes just another house. The excitement fades. The bills remain. This is why net worth matters more than income. Income can impress people. Net worth changes your life. The people who move beyond level 2 are rarely the people earning the most. They're usually the people who preserve the gap between what they earn and what they spend. That gap is where freedom grows. Every dollar that stays in that gap becomes another employee working on your behalf. And eventually, if you leave that process alone long enough, you arrive at level 3. Most people think this level is about becoming rich. It's not. It's about becoming independent. There is an important distinction. Rich means having money. Independent means controlling your time. Those are not the same thing. Someone earning $500,000 a year may still have very little control over their schedule. Their clients control it. Their company controls it. Their obligations control it. But someone with enough invested assets can begin reclaiming ownership of their days. And that changes everything. One of the most influential ideas in personal finance is remarkably simple. Take your annual spending. Multiply it by 25. That's roughly the amount of invested assets needed to support that lifestyle indefinitely under historical market conditions. The exact number isn't important. The concept is. Eventually, your investments become capable of producing the income your job once produced. And when that happens, work transforms from a necessity into a choice. That's a completely different psychological experience. You no longer wake up asking, "What do I have to do today?" You begin asking, "What do I want to do today?" That question sounds small. It's enormous. Because time is the one resource nobody can manufacture. You can earn more money. You can build more businesses. You can buy more assets. You cannot buy another Tuesday. And that's why the highest form of wealth isn't ownership of things. It's ownership of time. The ability to attend your child's event without checking emails. The ability to take a month off without financial panic. The ability to spend an afternoon exactly how you choose. People imagine financial freedom looks like yachts and mansions. For many who reach this level, it looks much simpler. Breakfast without rushing. A walk in the middle of the day. The freedom to decline opportunities that don't align with their values. The freedom to spend more time with people they love. The freedom to stop trading their life for money every hour of every day. But there is one final twist. A twist many people don't expect. Money can remove financial problems. It cannot automatically create meaning. Some people reach this level expecting happiness to appear like a package arriving at the front door. It doesn't. Because if loneliness, anxiety, regret, or lack of purpose existed before the money arrived, they often remain afterward. Money is an amplifier, not a cure. It magnifies what is already there. That's why some wealthy people seem deeply fulfilled while others remain dissatisfied. The difference isn't the size of the portfolio. It's whether they learned what the portfolio was actually for. The happiest people at this level don't use money to impress strangers. They use money to design better lives. That's the distinction. So here are the 3 levels again. The first $100 buys peace. The fear of every unexpected expense starts fading. The climb to $500 and beyond buys options. Your money begins working alongside you instead of waiting for instructions. And somewhere between $2.5 million and $5 million. Money begins buying back your time. Not because life becomes perfect. Because life becomes yours. That's the real progression. Not more stuff. Less fear. More choice. More control. Most people spend years chasing higher income while ignoring the number that actually changes how life feels. Net worth. The size of the bucket matters more than the speed of the water flowing through it. And the encouraging part is this. You don't need to reach level 3 tomorrow. You don't even need to reach level 2. You just need to reach the next level from where you are today. Because every dollar invested is a vote for a future version of yourself. A version with less stress, more options, and eventually, more time. The journey looks boring from the outside. Automatic contributions, consistent investing, ordinary decisions repeated for years. But that's how nearly every meaningful fortune is built. Not through dramatic moments, through quiet ones. And one day, without realizing it, you'll discover that life feels different. Not because your paycheck changed. Because you crossed a line on the net worth ladder that changed the way you experience the world.